Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about automated replenishment systems, specifically the one Seal and Design implements in their company. A little bit of background. So the company was actually losing thousands of dollars a day in inventory, whether that was due to overshipped quantities, different shelf location, or lost in transit. They were having issues finding their inventory once it got through the door. So they implemented their own tracking system. They scanned barcodes when it came in the door. They scanned the barcodes when they placed it on the shelf, and they scanned barcodes again when they shipped it out the door. And an overview of ARS. So we're going to talk about accessing your ARS, the features of it, and your portal extras. So accessing ARS. ARS is a web-based system. So the benefit of that is that any device with a web browser can access it. And that includes so that means cell phones, computers, tablets, anything that can access the internet can access your ARS. So ARS supports all major browsers on all major platforms. That's PC, Mac, iOS, Android, and that's on Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Opera. All of it can be accessed on any of these platforms. And so this is a screenshot of our login interface, and we will work with you to come up with a username and a password so that you can log into your portal and see what you need to see. So who has access to your ARS is determined by your business requirements. Out of the box, however, we do have 3 roles that users can have, and that's a buyer, a warehouse worker, receiver. Full access, limited screens, so a buyer would be an executive or a manager of procurement or purchasing. So whether or not you have who's in charge of your departments can see everything that is in your portal. Now, a warehouse worker limited screen would be someone that only wants to see where something has been located or whether or not it's been in the building. This allows the customer to give different users access to only what they need to see, and our team will work with you to determine the best access plan. The plan can be adjusted quickly on an as-needed basis. We already have all these back-end features finished, and it should take a max of 20 minutes to figure out new things that you might need. Features. So we're going to talk about receiving and shipments. We're going to talk about adjusting and reporting quantities. We're going to do a stock check and bin status, and then reporting and analysis, as well as automated replenishment. So the first feature we're going to talk about is stock check and bin status. So you can find stock levels for any part. You have part numbers available here, bin numbers available here, and a search button. You can see quick searches, everything in transit, everything on the dock, everything on hand below minimum threshold. And then you have, your part below minimum threshold, the lot number, shipment, number of entries you can see per screen. You can see everything in a specific bin. So the way we have it set up in our warehouse is we have 4 or 5 shelves high, and we have, it might say BW7A. So BW7A means back warehouse, shelf 7A would be on the ground. All these are labeled, so very quick and easy for us to see and find in our building. Quick search, as I just mentioned, are one-click buttons for a common set of searches. And then features include links to the part analysis tool for part and single-click copy to clipboard for convenience. So you can go from this screen to your part analysis screen and copy and paste, and there's no issues. Then you have adjust and reporting quantity. So your warehouse workers will be able to adjust quantity in and out and report consumption. So you have your part number here, the bin number, which I just talked about, and a lot number would be, a pallet it comes in on. So say we ship you 10,000 seals or O-rings, and you only use the first 2,000 or 3,000 of them. Well, you can say, I've used 3,000, we still have 7,000 left. These 7,000 are in this bin, and this is the part number, and you can hit adjust quantity over here. Pretty simple, very easy to use. I've done it myself. The forms inside ARS are predictive. So as you fill in information, the options in them get more specific to the actual records contained in the system. So because these are predictive, you always use 3,000, you always use 5,000, whatever it is, and we will talk with you and set up shipments that we believe are in our best interest and in your best interest. So we're trying to make it cheaper for both you and us. And then the history section will show any records pertaining to that part. So it's easy to track down the path a part took through the system. So we talk about that when I mentioned earlier about how we scanned it every time it went through a system or not, or went through a specific area of our warehouse. You too can do that as well. So if you adjust quantities and you say you have 3,000 up in your shipping area and 10,000 back in your warehouse, you can either move the 3,000 to your warehouse, or if you have a big order coming in, you can move that 10,000 to the shipping area and adjust the quantity. And that way you know where it's been last. And this has actually helped us track down inventory before. And it was a major problem. It still is a problem today, but we're getting better at it. And then another feature would be receiving shipments. So your receiver will log on to their ARS and can see what's scheduled to come in. So as you can see over here, we have ship dates of 10/28 and 10/31. Now, depending on lead time and what we've talked about with you and your company, you should know possibly that it takes 2 or 3 days for us to ship it to you. So if it was shipped on the 28th, you'll get it on the 30th. If it's shipped on the 31st, you'll get it on the 2nd or the 3rd. And this also includes weekends. Sometimes they ship Saturdays, sometimes they don't. It just depends on the company. And then when it arrives, the receiver will mark it received and or put it away. So as I said before, we'll scan it in, throw it in a bin or a lot number, as I've talked about, and you'll go on from there. And it's automatically in the system. The system updates by itself every 15 seconds. Then if you click extra details, it allows the receiver to put away specific lines or to send a note directly to us, noting any discrepancies. So if we send you 5,000 O-rings and you can only accept 2,000 of them, whether that was due to our error or a shipping mishandling error, you can note that down here. So as soon as you publish that note and save it, we get a notification in our system that says, hey, they could only accept 2,000 of these because of a shipping issue, and we'll send those back out to you as quickly as possible. And then there's reporting and analysis. So out of the box, ARS comes with the part analysis tool. And as you can see over here, you have lines for ordered, shipped, arrived, put away, and your usage. And you can do today, the last 30 days, last 365 days. And as I'm going to talk about later, it is customizable. So you can do every 2 months, every 3 months, whatever you prefer. But the red you will not see until you start to use our products. And then PAT shows the usage for a part, including a quick peek into the bin status for that part. So when I say bin status, I'm saying that's exactly what I talked about before. This is the exact bin it's in. It was in this location, shelf location. This is where you can find it last. And then with enough data, we can make accurate predictions about normal usage, seasonality, and help investigate inventory irregularities. So what helps us here and you is that in the past, we've had customers order quantities of 44. So quantities of 44, that doesn't help us. It doesn't help you. It's easier for us to ship out 100 or 250 at a time. So if we send you 250, then you have enough for the next 7 to 10 orders to fill whatever you need to fill. And then as soon as it gets below a minimum threshold, we have that alert that can go off in our system and can show us when you need more parts. And then we have our automated replenishment. So our sales team will work with you to establish proper bin minimums and reorder threshold for each ARS part. ARS knows when your inventory levels have fallen below minimum and reorders the correct amount to get your inventory back to an acceptable level. So this is exactly what I just talked about. If you have 250 parts, if we send you 250 parts and it gets below 44, or normally in the time before that, we will set it at 100 and say, hey, they normally don't use 100 until for, 2-3 weeks. Then every 3 weeks we'll put in a new order, and it takes us maybe 5 days, and then shipping another 3 days. So in all, it will level out in the right way. And then we consolidate ARS parts to one shipment per day to minimize freight costs and transaction overhead. So we don't want to be sending you 5 different boxes in 5 different days. It doesn't help us, and it doesn't help you, and it's easier to track if it all goes out in one day. So here are your customer portal extras. So the customer portal is jam-packed with extra features designed to give you information to make our business relationship as smooth and transparent as possible. So here you can review your quotes, you can review your orders and your shipments. So you can do pack slip numbers, CSC documents, tracking information. You can pay your invoices right on this website. It's a lot easier for us to track it. It makes our lies easier in our accounting department, and then you can have access to your automatic replenishment system. If you think that the 250 that we're sending you every 3 weeks isn't enough, and you call your sales rep and they agree that 300 or 400 should be sent every 3 weeks, you can go in and change that right away. So quotes are both open and closed. Orders are both open and closed. So you can see, what open orders you have, what have you closed on, and then your quotes. We've closed on these quotes, so an order would be open. Well, if we have an open quote, that means we're talking about different things that are going on, and we might be thinking about shipping you, or in the conversation of shipping you parts shortly. You just need to know exactly how much and stuff like that. Then we have shipment information with links to packing slips and shipment notification settings. And I think of that button as like a kind of a UPS store. When you get your tracking slip number, you can go into our system and look at where it is. Then invoice listing and a live customer statement. As I mentioned about invoice, you can go in and click through your invoice documents to make sure we don't have any discrepancies. And then it's actually customized to you. So ARS is designed and developed in-house and on-premise. So why is that important? Customization turnaround time is fast. As I mentioned earlier, everything is done on the back end by us. So we've already created all these dashboards. So the turnaround should be a day or two if we're just getting up and you're just becoming one of our customers. A day or two to create all the dashboards you want. And a lot of times we create the initial 5 or 6 dashboards and we'll get a call 3 days later, hey, we need these dashboards, and boom, 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 they're done. Then you have new reports and new functionality. And those can be added and tailored to your business use cases. And then we monitor ARS uptime and server performance in-house and respond quickly to any potential problems. So we normally check every day and make sure we are having no issues on anyone's end, or especially on our end, because we have the back-end system that nothing is going on. But if some reason are having an issue, we last looked at it either earlier in the morning or later that day, and we can fix it very quickly. So some hardware considerations. ARS works with hardware you already own and with technology you're already familiar with. The only thing you need is internet connection. So we recommend using a tablet for your best experience. We can provide you one if you don't already own one. And we have about, I would say, 12 on hand at our facility, but we will automatically give you the first one once you decide to go this route with us. So here are the questions for you. Have you heard of this technology before? Do you see this as something your company could use? Have you seen this implemented before? Do you have any concerns with this technology? And then what is the most helpful feature of this technology? How about the least helpful? And then how would you market this technology to your customers?